Matthew 26:25 says, Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said to him, You have said. Mark doesn't have this interaction. Luke just has, and they began to inquire among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing. John has, now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples whom Jesus loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him. So Simon asked John to ask Jesus, Who is it? And Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. When he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him, and then said Jesus to him, That you do quickly. Now no man at the table knew for what intent he spoke this to him. For some of them thought, because Judas had the bag, that Jesus had said to him, Buy those things that we have need of against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. Then having received the sop, he went immediately out, and it was night. I'm going to combine Judas asks him, Is it I? With Jesus giving him the sop. So Jesus will hand him the sop. Judas will realize he's pointing to me, and then ask, Is it I? Jesus will respond, You have said, and then that you do quickly. But before all that, I have to have the question Peter gives to John. And before the question, I'm going to put from Luke the fact that all the disciples are inquiring among themselves which of them it was that should do this thing. So I'm going to start with Luke. They inquired among themselves. Which of them it was that should do this thing. Then everything from John. Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples whom Jesus loved. Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. Before Satan entered into him, he has to ask the question, Is it I? Because if Satan entered into him, I don't think he'd stick around to ask the question, Is it I? Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I could do that. After the sop, Satan entered into him. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? But that would be more of Satan asking the question, Master, is it I? And I don't think that would fit as well. I think this is still Judas playing along to say, Master, is it I? Then Jesus says, You have said. Then I'll put, and after the sop, Satan entered into him. So it'll be a little ambiguous of what exactly the moment was that Satan entered into him. Because after the sop, he asked the question, then after the sop, Satan entered into him. So when was it? I don't want to be definitive and say Satan definitely entered now, then Judas asked this question, because I'm not exactly sure. They're from two different gospel accounts. So I'll leave it ambiguous. Now from Matthew. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said to him, You have said. Now, the next thing in Matthew is, as they were eating, Jesus took and blessed and broke it and gave it to the disciples. So he's being in communion. But that's not going to happen until after the rest of their conversation. John, I have Satan entering into him. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said Jesus to him, that you do quickly. Continue with John. Now, no man at the table knew for what intent he spoke this to him. He then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was